Very good evening, everyone. First of all, I welcome each one of you to my class on Code of Criminal Procedure 1973. Let's start with my brief introduction. My name is Sandeep Khatri. These are my areas of specialization, as you can see on the screen. Here is the link of my profile of Unacademy, so make sure you follow that to get all the updates about my special classes and my plus courses. Here is the link of my Telegram channel where you can connect with me and ask your questions. This is my code Khatri10, which you can use to get free access of all the special classes available on Unacademy app. So this was about me. Now I request everyone, please be attentive, and this is going to be interactive session. Today we are going to discuss one of the most interesting topic, that is the jurisdiction of criminal codes. So let's begin with that topic. Students, when it comes to the concept of codes, you may refer section number 6 of CrPC, section number 26 of CrPC, which is basically read with schedule 1 of CrPC, and then there comes the rule of chapter number 13, which is basically from section 177 to section 189. So today we are going to focus on this part. But in the introduction itself, I like to share the information that what is the relationship between all these sections and this schedule. So when we say codes, so which one are the criminal codes? The answer lies in section number 6. When the offense has taken place, which court is going to do the trial? The answer lies in section 26. Read with schedule 1 of CrPC. And now coming to, once the offense has been committed, which court is going to have the jurisdiction for the inquiry and trial. So when we say once offense has been committed, let's take a very simple example. Suppose A has committed the offense of murder of Mr. B. Now, which court is going to do the inquiry in that case? Which court is going to do the trial in that case? Which court is having the jurisdiction? Then the answer lies in which court is having the jurisdiction. On one hand, you have section 177, which is the general rule of this whole chapter number 13, and from section 178 till 189 are all the exceptions of section 177. This is the general rule, this is the exceptions. What is the general rule? The general rule says, as per to section 177, wherever this murder, this offense has taken place, so ordinarily, which means generally, that court is going to have the jurisdiction. So this was the basic introduction of this topic. If you have any questions from the intro part of this topic, you may ask questions in the comments. To conclude, before moving to all the sections of 178 to 189, I'm repeating myself. When we say the criminal codes, we should read all these sections together. Section 6 gives the answer to the question that which one are the criminal codes. Section 26, which court is going to do the trial once the offense has taken place. Read with schedule 1. And chapter 13, section 177 to 189 gives you the story, gives you the concept of jurisdiction of the criminal court in cases of inquiries and trial. Very simple example which I have given you. If A has committed the offense of murder of B and this offense has taken place, for example, in Pune. So now which court is going to have the jurisdiction? Where the offense has taken place. So the court of Pune is going to have, as per to section 177, as per to the general rule is going to have the jurisdiction in case of inquiry and trial. Now before moving to section 178 to 189, if you have any questions, you may ask. Okay, no questions. So I'm moving forward now. Now coming to exceptions part, let's discuss all these sections one by one. The very first one is section 178. You can divide the whole section of 178 into 4 parts. First, if there is uncertainty that at which place the offense has taken place. In real cases, there can be a possibility of uncertainty that the facts are not certain whether the offense has taken place in Pune or the offense has taken place in Mumbai. In that case, section 178 gives you the answer that both the courts are going to have the jurisdiction. Moving forward, the second part. If offense is committed partly in one local area and partly in another area. So some part of the offense has taken place in Mumbai and some part in Pune. Now in that case, both the courts are going to have jurisdiction as far as the concept of inquiry and trial is concerned. Moving to the third situation of section 178, that is, if there is a continuing offense. You can take examples of continuing offense like abduction, and you can take examples of domestic violence as well. So if these offenses have taken place in more than one jurisdiction, so all those courts of those places are going to have jurisdiction. Now moving to the last point of section 178, the fourth one, which says if there are several acts have been done in different local areas and then the offense has taken place, then all those several acts of different jurisdiction, all the courts are going to have jurisdiction as far as your inquiry and trial is concerned. So this is your 178. Now you can see the major difference which I have just told you under section 177 and 178. The major difference here, 177 says where the offense has taken place. That's it. But now coming to 178, the situations are such that 2 or more jurisdictions have been involved. And in that case, all those courts are going to have the jurisdiction. That is why we can pass this statement that 178 is one of the exceptions of section 177. Any questions, students, till now? Moving forward to the next concept, section 179. 179 is basically where you have committed an act is done under one jurisdiction and the consequences of that act comes under another jurisdiction. For example, if a poison has been given to Mr. A in Delhi and then he fly to Mumbai, but in Mumbai he died because of that poison. So the consequences ensues in Mumbai. So now there are 2 jurisdictions involved. One place where one act is done, the act of giving the poison, and the second one in Mumbai where the consequences ensues. Now moving to which court is going to have the jurisdiction. Now here both the courts are going to have the jurisdiction for the inquiry and the trial of that case. This is your section 179. Read with, now again, 179 and the relationship between 177. Again, in 179, there are 2 or more courts or 2 or more jurisdictions have been involved, and that is why this will again fall under the exceptions part. Moving forward to the next section, section number 180. 180 says place of trial where act is an offense by reason of relation to other offense. So you can take examples here. For example, preparation. You can take several examples here. One of the best example to understand the concept of Section 180 is Dakati. Now, Dakati is a kind of an offense where even preparation of Dakati has taken place under one jurisdiction, and Dakati has taken place in another jurisdiction. So now both the courts are going to have the jurisdiction to do inquiry and trial in that case, which means under Section 180, there is one act has been done in one jurisdiction and the another act is done in another jurisdiction. This act in itself is an offense, and this act too is again a different offense. For example, preparation of dakati is one offense, and to commit the offense of dakati is another offense. You can take one more example in relation to this. For example, abatement. Okay, so doing abatement of one particular offense is in itself as an offense, and then the offense itself, abatement of murder. So abatement of murder will fall under this, and the offense of murder will fall under Act 2. If they are taking place in two different jurisdictions, both the courts are going to have the jurisdiction to do the inquiry and trial of this case as per to Section 180. Moving forward to the next section. Correct answer, Vipul, both. Now coming to Section 181. 181 deals with certain offenses. So basically you can make a simple chart like what certain offenses are dealt under Section 181. So on one hand, you can make the list of the offenses and then their codes of jurisdiction. So for example, if any offense has been committed like kidnapping or abduction, that will fall under wherever the person is abducted, conveyed, concealed or detained, all the courts are going to have the jurisdiction in that case. So this is your 181. Coming to 182, offenses committed by letters. So can offenses be committed by letters? Answer is yes. Offense of abatement can be committed through letters or any kind of telecommunications. Offense of cheating can be taken place through letters. So in case of letters, from one place you have sent the letter, and then the place 2 where the letter has been received. So both the courts of place 1 and place 2 are going to have jurisdiction. This is your Section 182. 182 has two different concepts, Clause 1 and Clause 2. So first I'm reading Clause 1. Any offense which includes cheating may, if the deception is practiced by means of letters or telecommunications. Okay. Messages be inquired into or tried by any court within whose local jurisdiction such letters or messages were sent or were received. Mahadev, please do a refresh. Okay. Vipul, answering to your question, 181 में सर abduction है तो continuing offense हुआ 181 में. Okay, fine. 178 भी continuing है. Okay. Difference क्या है sir in both these sections? Vipul, listen carefully. When it comes to Section 178, clause C that talks about continuing offense, in which I have also taken example of domestic violence. Okay, so that will fall under section 178C. Fine. Now coming to abduction. If the offense is related to abduction, that will fall under section 181. Now let me give you the reasoning why under section 181. The reason is because we do have a specific provision in relation to that. You can read section 181 clause 2, any offense of kidnapping or abduction. Fine. Now coming to the because it is a specific offense, abduction has been mentioned there, so this will fall under section 181. But if you will read it together, if you read 181 with section 178, then the conclusion will come the same only. There is no contradiction between, see, mind it, there is no contradiction between section 178 and 181. But still, because section 181 is a specific provision, so that's why in the case of abduction, we will follow 181. Now, coming to the conclusion part, the conclusion remains the same. And what is the conclusion? The conclusion says, the conclusion of, you can say, all the sections starting from section 178 till section 189, the conclusion is if there are two or more courts, if there are two or more jurisdictions has been involved, then all the courts who has the jurisdiction who fall under that category will going to be have the jurisdiction. I hope I am clear with this. Exactly, Vipul. Exactly my point. Fine. Anything else, students? Chaliye, moving forward now. So 182, like I told you, in case of 182, there are two concepts. The first one is in case of offenses which includes cheating or deception, in case of letters or telecommunications, both the places, both the courts are going to have jurisdiction from where the letter has been sent or from where the letter has been received. Now coming to the clause 2, 494 or 495. If you can recall 494 and 495, these are the offenses in relation to marriage. Okay. Under IPC, that is bigamy, one is. Now, in case of these kind of offenses, which court are going to have the jurisdiction? So, before reading which courts are going to have the jurisdiction under section 182 clause 2, I'm giving you the reasoning in advance that why is such. This is just to give a comfortable position to the woman. And that is why we have included all these places. And what are the places? The court within whose local jurisdiction the offense was committed, which means the second marriage, wherever has the second marriage has taken place, that court is going to have the jurisdiction. First point. Or the offender last resided with his or her spouse. Okay, so second point. Third, or wife of the by the first marriage has taken a permanent residence after the commission of an offense. So in short, there are three places: first, second, third. The first place where the marriage, or you can say the second marriage, the offense has taken place. So that court is going to have the jurisdiction. Then the last resided with the first wife. That court also is going to have the jurisdiction to do the inquiry and the trial. And the last one is, if the wife get to know that her husband has entered into the second marriage, now she may left the house. Okay, and in that case, if she left the house and moved to another jurisdiction, that also is going to have that new place of the first wife. The court also going to have the jurisdiction. This is your section 182. Any questions, students, till section 182? All clear? Hello, Aru, and everyone, those of you who have just joined. Moving to the next one, under section 183. Now, what 183 says? 183 deals with offense committed on journey or voyage. Let's take one simple example. Suppose there is a train from Delhi to Mumbai, and the luggage of a person, Mr. A, theft has been committed against Mr. A. Now he has no idea where the theft has taken place. It may be in Delhi only while the train was in Delhi, or it may be in Mumbai, or it may be Gujarat, Rajasthan, or Haryana, or any of the stations. So, in that case, section 183 says that all these courts are going to have the jurisdiction to in relation to do the inquiry or the trial in that offense. Let's read section 183. When an offense is committed whilst the person by or against whom or the thing in respect of which the offense is committed is in the course of performing a journey or voyage. So journey is basically here I've used the example of train. Okay. Voyage is basically, usually we use that term when you are traveling in a ship. Okay. The offense may be inquired into or tried by a court through or into whose local jurisdiction that person or thing passed in the course of that journey or voyage. Which means, now what is the relationship between 183 and section 177? 177 says where the offense has taken place. Simple rule, general rule. But 183 says all these courts are going to have the jurisdiction. Why? Because there is again kind of uncertainty, but this will not fall under section 178. Why not 178? Because we do have a very specific section on this one. Now let's assume if there was no section 183, that may fall under section 178 clause 1 as well. Okay. Moving forward. Now coming to section 185 and 186. There are several examples, there are several cases where two courts have taken the cognizance of same offense. And in that case, the question came in that now which court is going to continue with the inquiry and trial and which one needs to stop that. So the answer to that question lies in section 185, read with 186. So first let's read section 185. Just a second. Now reading section 185. Power to order cases to be tried in different sessions divisions. Notwithstanding anything contained in the preceding provisions of this chapter, the state government may direct that any case or class of cases committed for trial in any district may be tried in any session division, which means the state government here has the power. Now, what kind of power we are talking about? That they may order that which session division is going to hold what kind of cases. But over this state government, the power of this state government has one exception. What is that one exception? Provided that such direction is not repugnant to any direction previously issued by the High Court or the Supreme Court under the Constitution or under this code or any other law for the time being in force. So see, even the High Court and Supreme Court both are having the power to transfer cases. So if the High Court has exercised their power in any particular case, or the Supreme Court has exercised their power in that particular situation, state government cannot transfer that case. Except the cases that has been touched by the High Court and the Supreme Court, in that case the state government has all the power under section 185. Now coming to 186. 186 says High Court to decide in case of doubt district where inquiry or trial shall take place. One of the most important section of this chapter, students, section 186. As far as your previous year questions are involved, mostly, there are high chances, high probability that you will get question from 186 only. So listen carefully. When it comes to section 186, then there are two or more courts. So for example, there is a court A and then there is a court B. Both have taken cognizance of the same offense. Where two or more courts have taken cognizance of the same offense and a question arises as to which of them ought to inquire into or try that offense, the question shall be decided by. Now there can be two situations. They may be under a single high court. For example, let's take an example from Delhi. Rohini Court and Saket Court both are under the jurisdiction of Delhi High Court. Okay, but Rohtak Court and Rohini Court, they do have different high courts. So they may be under a single high court or maybe under a different high courts. If in the case of single high court, then the high court will decide which court is going to continue with that and which court is going to leave that case. In case of different high courts, if the courts are not subordinate to the same high court by the high court within the local limits of whose appellate criminal jurisdiction the proceedings were first commenced. So in that case, we will go as per to the date. Whichever court has started their proceedings, they have commenced the case before, that will continue up with the case. So that was your section 185 and 186. Now, any problems till section 186? Yes, please. Most legal. Okay. मैं सेक्शन 185 को एंड 186 को एक बार हिंदी में भी अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन कर देता हूँ. देखिए, सेक्शन 185 बेसिकली ये बात करता है कि आपकी स्टेट गवर्नमेंट जो है उसके पास भी पावर है कि वो जो केसेस को है एक कोर्ट से दूसरी कोर्ट में ट्रांसफ़र कर सकते हैं, लेकिन उन केसेस को स्टेट गवर्नमेंट टच अपॉन नहीं करेगी जिन केसेस को हाई कोर्ट या सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने जो है ऑलरेडी जो है उसको एक कोर्ट से दूसरी कोर्ट में ट्रांसफ़र किया है. 185 में एक छोटा सा पॉइंट और यहीं पे आता है कि सर ऐसा क्यों दिया हुआ है कि आप यहीं पे स्टेट गवर्नमेंट लिखते और बात ख़त्म हो जाती. तो देखिए, पावर स्टेट गवर्नमेंट की भी है और पावर हाई कोर्ट एंड सुप्रीम कोर्ट की भी है. और यहाँ पर ये डिसाइड करना बहुत ज़रूरी था कि स्टेट गवर्नमेंट की पावर प्रिवेल करेगी हाई कोर्ट और सुप्रीम कोर्ट पे या हाई कोर्ट और सुप्रीम कोर्ट की पावर प्रिवेल करेगी ओवर द स्टेट गवर्नमेंट. तो सेक्शन 185 का प्रोवाइजो इस पॉइंट को क्लियर कर देता है कि आपकी हाई कोर्ट और सुप्रीम कोर्ट की पावर प्रिवेल करेगी ओवर द स्टेट गवर्नमेंट. ये था आपका सेक्शन 185. नाउ कमिंग टू सेक्शन 186. 186 ये कहता है कि अगर दो या दो से ज़्यादा कोर्ट्स ने एक सेम ऑफेंस का कॉग्निजेंस ले लिया है, तो अब मान लीजिए एक मर्डर हुआ है, ठीक है, अब मर्डर एक ही हुआ है, मतलब ए ने बी का मर्डर किया है. तो इन सर्कमस्टांसेस में क्या दो या दो से ज़्यादा कोर्ट्स में ये केस चलना चाहिए? तो एज पर टू द कॉमन सेंस एज वेल, कोर्ट में एक केस आपका एक ही उस कोर्ट में चलना चाहिए. ठीक है, आप दो बार तो पनिशमेंट किसी को नहीं दे सकते हो ना, फिर वहाँ पे आपका सेक्शन 300 ऑफ CrPC भी रोल प्ले करेगा. ठीक है। और आई थिंक वो ठीक भी नहीं होगा दोनों पार्टीज के लिए, अक्यूज्ड के लिए भी ठीक नहीं होगा और विक्टिम के लिए भी ठीक नहीं होगा कि दो या दो से ज्यादा कोर्ट्स में एक ही केस चल रहा है। तो उन सरकमस्टांसेस में जिन दो या दो से ज्यादा कोर्ट्स में केस चल रहा है, अगर वो एक ही हाई कोर्ट के अंडर आती हैं, तो वो हाई कोर्ट डिसाइड करेगी कि कौन सी कोर्ट जो है उस केस को कंटिन्यू करेगी और कौन सी कोर्ट में वो केस वहीं पे खत्म हो जाएगा। ठीक है जी। अब आते हैं सर, सिचुएशन तो ऐसी भी हो सकती है कि वो जो दो या दो से ज्यादा कोर्ट्स हों उनकी डिफरेंट हाई कोर्ट्स हों, तो उन सरकमस्टांसेस में जिस कोर्ट ने पहले प्रोसीडिंग्स इनिशिएट की थी वो कंटिन्यू करेगी और बाकी कोर्ट्स जो हैं उसको वहीं पे एंड कर देंगे। ये था आपका सेक्शन 185 एंड 186। बताइए जी। मोस्ट लीगल, आई होप कि अब क्लियर हो गया होगा आपको। अरु मैंने कुछ बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं लिखा है अभी तक, मैं सिर्फ सेक्शन नंबर ही लिख रहा हूं ज्यादातर, बहुत ज्यादा कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं लिखा हुआ है कि आपको यहां से रेफर करना हो कुछ वैसे। बताइए जी। इसी में आपका एक और इंपॉर्टेंट सेक्शन लास्ट आता है, सेक्शन नंबर 188, ऑफेंसेस कमिटेड आउटसाइड इंडिया, जो कि अगर आप आईपीसी जब आप पढ़ते हैं, व्हेन यू रीड आईपीसी, सेक्शन नंबर 4 के साथ भी 188 पढ़ा जाता है। इवन जो आपके सेक्शन 4 ऑफ इंडियन पिनल कोड की जो इलस्ट्रेशन है वो आपकी सेक्शन 188 ही है, कि अगर ऑफेंस आउटसाइड इंडिया होता है, ठीक है, और आप इंडिया में अरेस्ट होते हो, तो जहां पर भी अरेस्ट हुए हो उस कोर्ट के पास जुरिस्डिक्शन होगी। अब देखिए, बहुत सिंपल सा एग्जांपल आपको दे रहा हूं, एक लास्ट एग्जांपल, तो प्लीज बहुत ध्यान से सुनिएगा। सेक्शन 177 क्या कहता है कि जहां पर भी ऑफेंस कमिट हुआ है उस कोर्ट के पास जो है जुरिस्डिक्शन होगी। ठीक है। अब सेक्शन 188 को देखिए। अब ऑफेंस तो आउटसाइड इंडिया हुआ है, विच मीन्स कि किसी अनदर कंट्री में, तो क्या सिर्फ उन्हीं के पास जुरिडिक्शन होगी? आंसर इज नो। सेक्शन 3 रीड विद सेक्शन 4 ऑफ आईपीसी आपको ये कॉन्सेप्ट कंफर्म कर देता है कि अगर ऑफेंस आउटसाइड इंडिया भी हुआ है तो भी उस पर जो है आईपीसी एप्लीकेबल हो सकता है। तो अब उन केसेस में कौन सी इंडियन कोर्ट होगी जिसके पास जुरिडिक्शन होगी? तो 188 आंसर करता है कि जहां पर भी वो पर्सन अरेस्ट होगा उस कोर्ट के पास जुरिडिक्शन होगी। तो दैट इज वाई मैंने इंट्रोडक्शन में ही आपको बताया कि सेक्शन 177 जनरल रूल की बात करता है और 188 मतलब 178 से लेके 189 ये इसकी एक्सेप्शंस हैं। सो दैट वाज द पर्सपेक्टिव। नाउ एनीथिंग व्हिच यू आर नॉट क्लियर विद, यू मे आस्क क्वेश्चंस, or I have some important announcements to make. Yes, please. So students, this is the link of my profile. If you do have any questions in your mind in relation to any law subject, you may write on my Telegram channel as well. This is the link of my Telegram channel. You can easily reach out to me. And this is my code Khatri10, which you can use to get free access of all the special classes available on Unacademy app. Let's crack PCSJ with Unacademy. Students, last chance to save big. You can save up to 20% and up to free 6 months extensions from Feb 22 to 28. There is a free All India Judiciary Scholarship Test taking place on 5th of March. To enroll yourself, you can use this barcode as well. And I personally suggest you should not miss these kinds of opportunities. You can win up to 100% scholarships. Unacademy has already launched Safalta 4.0 comprehensive batch, linking batch for Rajasthan Judiciary and Gujarat Judiciary, revision batch for UP mains exam. This is for your Chhattisgarh Judiciary Prelims mock test series, mains test series for Punjab Judiciary, mains test series for UP Judiciary. You can refer Unacademy to your friends and win exciting rewards. These are our YouTube. These are the YouTube and the Telegram channel of Unacademy. And that's it from my end. See you in my next class. Till then, yes, it's time to say peace.